It's not very often that I get to make videos about albums that come out that I really like. Well, if you couldn't already tell, I am a pretty big Halestorm fan. So just before I get started into talking about this album, I did write a review for it for Alternative Nation, and I actually got to do a phone interview with Lizzie and Joe, which was so cool and exciting. I've been trying to get an interview with them for so long. When it came time, their publicist actually reached out to me and asked if I wanted to participate in a roundtable interview. Now, when I write a review, listen, I wouldn't have started making videos if I didn't start writing first, so writing is really where my strengths are. My video album reviews are more so just how each individual song makes me feel and what I think of it at, you know, that moment or after listening to it a couple times. My written album reviews are, in my opinion, if I may be so bold, pretty solid, and they have a lot more thought put into them. I don't write scripts for these videos really. I kind of just like to talk off the top of my head because that's just how I kind of go through life. So yeah, I'm gonna link the interview and the album review down below. If you guys are interested in checking that out, I really love when people read the stuff that I write. Without further ado, let's get into Halestorm's Vicious. And I, as a psychology major, am always psychologically analyzing everything that goes on around me. It's kind of ridiculous. I drive myself insane on a daily basis. Comparing Vicious to their past 3 albums, I definitely think that Vicious is their deepest and most mature, most raw, most unapologetic album that they've had so far. And that is something that has been said by the band themselves. Lizzie said in her bio of Halestorm that she was going through some stuff when it came to getting into the writing process of this album, and she decided to get herself through it by writing, and writing very honestly. Lizzie's just a very open person in general. She's often engaging with fans on Twitter and stuff and doing Q&As, and she gets very personal sometimes. She's always been just like very open and herself. When their first single from the new album, Uncomfortable, came out, I honestly was not immediately in love with it. I made a first reaction video to the song, and you can kind of see my sentiments about the song in that video. I knew that they had something better coming, that they had more in store for us. I was right, because then Vultures came out. So yeah, I guess we'll just from there gonna get into the songs. We'll go one by one, and I'll kind of say a little bit about how I feel about each one, and then conclude at the end. Black vultures circling the sky, pick at the pieces, scavengers wait for me to die. When I first heard this song, guys, I was obsessed. So you can already tell from the beginning that the song is going to be heavy, and then it just explodes, and then once the verse comes, it slows down and it gets a lot calmer, but then it builds up again once you get into the chorus. And honestly, there's like 2 separate choruses almost. It's the first part is when she says like, I don't give in, I don't give up, I won't ever let it break me, blah blah blah. And then the second chorus, the riff and the melody kind of changes a little bit when she says black vultures circling the sky. And that is my favorite part of the song. Probably one of my favorite parts of the whole album. I think it's so powerful, and it's just so in your face, and it's just hard. It is just hard, and I love it. I think that it was the perfect album opener. I don't think any song would have served better as the opener for this record, and it kind of sets the tone and says like, this shit is gonna be hard, it's gonna be in your face, it's gonna be raw, and it's gonna have you maxing out your speakers like crazy. Black Vultures, definitely one of my top 3 favorite on this record. Track 2 is Skulls, which has a strange kind of like rappy intro. She's harmonizing with herself, and it kind of has like this pop feel to it almost, but then again it explodes. A very heavy instrumental intro, and there's just this like bum 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 bass line, it's just like thumping, and she kind of raps over it. It's like almost like speaking rather than singing. She just hits some really crazy notes in the chorus. I think that this song is just like, in my album review that's written, I considered it like metal mayhem, because it just is. It goes from like one extreme to the other. It goes from so quiet to so loud. And just to make you comfortable. we get to Uncomfortable, which is the song that everybody knows. It has been on repeat 10,000 million times on Sirius Octane, and it has been in the top 10 of Billboard's mainstream rock songs chart for several weeks already. I think that the lyrics are a perfect basically description of Lizzie's personality, and again, like how I said, she's just always been herself, doesn't care what people think. Over time, this song did grow on me. I'm not saying I didn't like it from the start, but again, I knew that they had something better. I think that there's a really strong message, and it's a really good message for people who are kind of having struggles with their own identity and being themselves. Once I found out that, so this is supposedly about when she cut her hair, it made me appreciate it and respect it even more. Track 4 is Buzz. So when I see Buzz, I think it's going to be about alcohol. Buzz actually is more focused on what it's like to be in a relationship with lust. And again, here's me psychologically analyzing it because I just can't not do that with anything. She kind of uses the buzz of alcohol as a metaphorical way of describing how she feels about, I guess it would be a new relationship. So I do like this song. It's powerful.
There's a king size bed, but we can do it on the floor. Turn your cell phone off, leave a sign on the door that says do not disturb.
Okay, now we're at Do Not Disturb, which is song number 5 and single number 3. Do Not Disturb was released as the 3rd single prior to the album release a week before it came out. I was shocked. When I first heard this song, I realized finally that a lot of the things Lizzie's been tweeting over the past weeks are actually lyrics from the album, starting with the phrase, "I think we should make out." It has a really heavy intro musically, and then quiet verses with her singing in a very seductive way, telling this story, which she has actually said is based on a true one. So I think it's interesting, and I do like the idea of, a woman writing about sexual desires, fantasies, whatever in a song, because for decades men have been doing that and getting patted on the back for it, but women weren't really doing it the same way until, Lizzie comes along. And she has other songs about sex in the past, but this one is like a whole other meaning. Chorus, it just has this really eerie feel, and even the guitar solo has a seductive vibe to it. Personally, song doesn't really do it for me. It's nothing against the message. I think it's just kind of the overall aspect of it, the vibes, the musically, whatever. I think it's a good song, but it's definitely lower on my list of favorites.
I'm conflicted, this addiction's got me twisted on you. I'm conflicted, contradictive, got my body confused.
Following Do Not Disturb, I was kind of hoping that the next song would stray in topic a little bit.
Ooh, you were really, really good last night.
Maybe next time. So this song isn't really about sex the same way the last one was. It's kind of more about what I would assume, trying to decipher whether a physical relationship with somebody is going to progress and blossom into something deeper, maybe more emotional. And I think it has a catchy rhythm, and I like the chorus, but again, this song just didn't really do it for me. Those two together sort of serve as one of the weaker points on the album, in my opinion. Killing Ourselves to Live. I think if you just kind of not pay attention to the lyrics as much as the music, then it's a freaking fantastic song. It's very powerful. The chorus has a lot going on. Guitars and the vocals together make for a very fierce sound, but the way the melody kind of goes downwards in the chorus, you can kind of feel the emotion in the topic.
Now because of you, I've got a heart of Novocaine.
Heart of Novocaine. This song is one of my favorites on the album. This to me is almost like the Familiar Taste of Poison sequel. This song is acoustic and places a heavy influence on Lizzie's vocals, which obviously are fantastic. She goes from sounding so soothing and so sweet to adding that element of rasp and growl in it a little bit. If I could have anyone's voice in the world, it would be hers, I swear. It's basically just focusing on how even just one bad relationship that was either emotionally abusive or you were putting in more effort than the other person, how it can just really damage your outlook on relationships and can make you cold and just numb to feeling and resilient to opening up to somebody else and giving that person a chance. Without getting too personal, I can assure you that this is a pretty painful trip down memory lane for people who have been in that same position.
You get me high, like a painkiller, like a painkiller. You numb the pain, you're blowing my mind.
Seeing the song title for Painkiller, I was kind of nervous that it was going to be about drug use, which I don't think is something that Lizzie would be condoning in a song. But this, similar to Buzz, is about the addictive aspect of a new relationship, wanting to be around that person all the time, which is something that my friends seem to have really hard times with. They kind of forget about everybody else, so this song's for them.
I'm not the girl in the white dress. I'm not your fairy tale princess. I'm sorry, mama, that I made you cry. Someday you'll know the reason why.
White dress. I love this song. This song is for the girls who grew up playing with cars and dinosaurs and animals instead of Barbies. This song is for the rock and roll chicks, I would think, for the most part. You know, the girls who grow up wanting to wear banties and wanting to listen to heavy stuff instead of Taylor Swift and Demi Lovato. Prayers to her, I shouldn't have said that. You can wear the light dresses and the flowy shit, and we'll wear the black lace and leather, and you know, that's what we do better at anyway. So this song is just for the tough chicks, the girls who just aren't girly, and it's totally fine.
What doesn't kill me makes me vicious. I'm not gonna break. You can take all that you can get.
The second to last track is the self-titled track, Vicious. This is basically a hardcore version of Kelly Clarkson's What Doesn't Kill Me Makes Me Stronger, but I obviously like Lizzie's version a lot more. I think that vicious as a way of saying that you are strong is cool. I mean, I often get told that I'm aggressive. Experiences in my life have made me into a tough-hearted person. Watch out, because I'm vicious. There's some like thrashy guitar riffs in it. Yeah, so I like it.
I will hear you, and I will keep you.
Holy Jesus, thank God they put this song last, because I don't know if I would want to listen to anything heavier after it, because it is so damn beautiful. Another one of my favorites on the record, The Silence. This is such a beautiful song. And even after the first few strokes on the acoustic guitar, I'm like already having chills and tears in my eyes. And she sings so softly and gently throughout most of the song. There's a couple points where she adds her little, you know, rough element in there, which is what makes Lizzie Lizzie and what makes her work Halestorm. This song has basically the opposing perspective on a relationship that Heart of Novocaine did, because it is reflecting on a relationship in a warm and nostalgic way. Rather than saying it made her cold, it's saying something she remembers and will take with her forever. And her voice, like, dude, I thought Heart of Novocaine placed a good emphasis on her vocals, but this song is so much quieter. And there's a part where they even have no instruments at all, and she sings the chorus for the last time, and her voice is just echoing. It chills up and down my spine, goosebumps, whatever. This and Heart of Novocaine and Familiar Taste of Poison and Dear Daughter, like songs like this are, in my opinion, usually the strong points on records. For a rock band, it's easy to sound like a rock band, but for a rock band to put out a ballad like this that actually makes people feel so strongly is, I think, what you know, makes records so solid. You have to kind of have that versatility in sound a little bit. Vicious has versatility in sound. It has heavy stuff, it has softer stuff, it has promiscuity, and it has acoustics and ballads. I mean, it's just kind of like the perfect blend of everything. I definitely recommend this record to people who are fans of Halestorm, even people who aren't fans of Halestorm. Let me know what you guys think of Vicious and what your favorite songs are. And go follow me on Twitter. I've been trying to tweet about releases and get people to respond to me with what their favorite songs are. Not enough people do. But thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.